Well, time to do some wiring on this NSU vehicle. It's a bit of a mess all around the place, so let's fix it up. And the kitty's come to supervise again. Hello, kitty. Yes, what an interesting mess. I'll work it out. Well, I had a little go at this last night. Made a mess of things. It was good. But now I started ripping it all apart and starting from scratch because it was just a mess. So I got all the coils out and all the relay blocks and the original voltage regulator. Got all the headlight wiring out for this side, plus all the other wiring that was running the engine and everything. And that's the starter wiring and for the gauges too, like oil light and temperature gauge. So it's looking pretty messy at the moment. There's the main cabin feed, it's the only one left. The alternator wires, I cut them all off. I've just left them there for now. But I've got to redo them. That one goes to the ignition, that one goes to the battery, that one goes to the light on the dash. Then I've got to do the coil. So you've got, oh not coil, distributor, which runs two coils. So you've got two modules which both have to be powered, and each module runs each coil. And then I've got to wire up all of the ignition system because it's really weird in this car. You've got power going to the cabin. When you turn the key on, power comes out here, which is supposed to energize the relay, and then send power back into the cabin to light up the dash and turn on the fuel pump and activate all this and the alternator. I'm going to wire it up so it runs everything. I'm going to replace both coils because this one's leaking, as you can see. All the oil's coming out. They're both the same age, so you might as well replace them both. And that way you have even spark, because the new coil might be different than the old one. Now, just to quickly explain the mess of wire on this side. Well, that's the headlight for that side. It's just draped over here for now. But originally this green wire, which is actually a household earthing wire, was going straight to the battery positive, not earth. No, not, what am I saying? Not fused. So that goes over there. And that went straight to this, which is a relay for the headlights that someone has put in. But all that relay actually runs is this headlight here, but just one of the filaments, low beam. That's all that relay actually does. So, and then it jumps from this wire to that wire, then runs down here to this fuse, to that relay that runs the fan. What a shit setup. The headlights are disgraceful in this. Like, low beam's not too bad because technically only one's been run off the standard wiring. But as soon as you go to high beam, whoa, it's dim. Very, very dim. So, but yeah, that's just a chaotic mess. I'm going to tear all that out. I'm probably going to cut all of the original headlight wiring out, both sides, and just use one side as a trigger and make my own loom for the headlights. So I'll get rid of all of this shit and cut it all the way back. Because yeah, we don't need it, it's all fucked. So this car's not original, obviously. So we might as well, you know, do the best we can. Well, I've made up this little relay block with fuses, and that will run the engine, starter motor, and the fan for the radiator. So that'll go in there. Now I get to connect everything up to it. Make it all nice. It doesn't look too bad, does it? With the new coils in the back, it'll look even better. Well, it's actually in and somewhat working at the moment. I haven't got anything connected to the engine yet, but all the relays trigger when they should. I'll put another fuse box under here. It's a bit chaotic in this area, but that's the main feed. There's 8 feeds here, 8 separate fuses. So 3 for the headlight, 1 for the main cabin, and then all these ones are what I explained before. I've got a nice big heavy feed cable going down. So now I've just got to make up the engine worm. Sorted out the headlights, they'll be my trigger wires. I'll probably have the relays along here, and that's the fuse box for the headlights there. So I just have 3 15 amp wires coming off this, the relays up here, and then that should be fairly straightforward. And just got to connect up the fans to this one. So yeah, it's falling together nicely now. Still a little bit chaotic, but much better than it was. And it should work 1,000 times better. Like, this is way major overkill. Got to tighten this down, but when I put the new coils in, I'll tighten it all up. That's for the alternator. So yeah, it's getting there. Already looks heaps better. Well, that'll do for now. Just got to put the coils in and connect those wires to it. The green ones, well, the green and yellow one are inputs to the coil from the negative triggers, and then the red ones are positive to coil, and the other green one is to the tacho. But that's all seems to be done. Starter mode is done. Yeah, everything's nice and done. There's a lot going on down there. So next I've got to put the headlight relays in, just the wires from the fuse box there. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. It's just a bit messy around the inputs, but as I say, there's 8 of them. 50 amp or 15 amp feed. It's pretty good. There we go. There's some progress. If I go and push the start button, it should actually crank. It would run if it had coils, I'd say. So everything should work. So I should have a charge light on now, and I should have an oil light on. So everything should be working. Well, I'm in the car now. Let's turn the ignition on. Yep. So charge light, oil light. That's the way it was before. I always thought the oil light should be red, but oh well. Yep, fuel gauge is working. So pull the choke out and the choke light comes on. Rear demist light. Indicator. It's just one boring light. Not sure what that one or that one's for. Or that one. There might be a manual I can look through. There is one in the car. But yeah, there we go. But, yeah, it's a bit late to start it. The hazards work now. That's right, I remember what that light's for. It's for high beam. Cool. Yeah, that's the pile of crap I got out of it so far. You know, like old external mechanical regulator for the alternator, ballast resistors that doesn't need anymore, crappy old relays. You know, one was for the ignition, that was for the starter, for when it had this connected, so it put full 12 volts to the coils. That'll be useful for something. But yeah, pile of rubbish.